What's up? That's right, another win. I know I didn't pick them again, and you know what? If it keeps going this way, I feel like I shouldn't pick them. If they're gonna keep winning, they're gonna keep proving me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy every second of the games when they win. I always want them to win. I would lose every fantasy football league I was ever in. Any sort of pick'em league, any survivor pool, I will lose them all to see the Titans win. It's just how I am, but I'm still trying to be, unbiased and realistic. I did say the game would be close. I didn't, however, say I didn't think there was no way they could possibly win. This is the NFL. I think this year more than any year, it is turned into any given Sunday. So to go over I always do that, wrong side, to go over my predictions for last week, for this week, I'm just going to go over them real quick and then I'm going to remove them just because I did predict that the Jaguars would beat the Jets. I got this one wrong, but I thought the Colts would beat the Texans and I thought that the Titans would lose to the Eagles. So let me go ahead and clear these so there's not any more confusion of really what's going on or what I'm talking about. So, all right, now that they're all out of there. All right, so let's start with the Jets and the Jaguars. Least exciting game of the three that were played. I mean, it went pretty much how I said it was. I knew the Jaguars were going to come out. They lost last week to the Titans, and they didn't think they should have lost the Titans, so I knew that there was going to be some form of retribution. And the Jets are a team that I think, even though they're 1-2, I still think people think they're much better than what they are. But at the end of the day, they're maybe a 4 or 5 win team. So I fully expected that. And watching the game, it was no really big surprises. I mean, I guess Bortles threw for a lot. He threw for I think it was upwards of 400 yards, something like that. But I just don't understand after the Titans give you like some form of blueprint of how to beat the Jaguars, of really making Bortles try to hit those 8 and 10 yard outs, which he really, really struggles with. I mean, I watched the highlights and it seemed like every other play, Bortles was throwing across the middle for 20 yards here or 10 yards there, and just they're just leaving the middle of the field wide open. And if you can't get to him to hit him, you can't do that. You can't leave the field open. The Jets were very aggressive. They wanted to blitz, but, to their credit, the Jaguars' offensive line played much better. A lot of open receivers, though. I mean, he was hitting them today. I mean, sometimes he has his inaccuracy problems. Today wasn't one of those deals. I mean, the other thing that to really get Blake Bortles frustrated is those defensive linemen. You got to get your hands up if you can't get there. I mean, he had a tipped pass today that resulted in an interception. He had a tipped pass last week. He had 3 tip passes in one drive last week. Get your hands up. I don't know if maybe he's got a lower trajectory on his throw, but either or, let's look at the Jaguars did exactly what they did against New England. I mean, they took exactly what was given to them. Fournette played, but he didn't finish. I guess he was hurt or whatever. The highlights didn't really go over it, but I mean, I really didn't see the Jets winning this. Out of all of the games, I think that this one to me was the most. The Jags are going to win. There's no doubt in my mind. So I mean, Bortles did play well. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to go in there and just make the right passes, and he did. And you're not supposed to go out there and he's not supposed to go out there and win you every game, but he's supposed to keep you in every game. And so the defense, the Jaguars defense, I don't think they allowed the point until the third quarter. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. This game was what everyone expected to be. Everyone picked the Jaguars to win, and that's exactly what happened. The defense was dominant, and, I feel like the only reason why the Jets really scored is they became disinterested. They knew it was, it was whatever. So let's go to the next game. I think I'll save the Colts-Texans game for last because it's an AFC South game. I did it last week when there was an AFC South game. So the game I watched wire to wire being the Titans versus the Eagles in Nashville. I did say that this game was going to be close. I did think that the Eagles were going to stick it out, but I mean, a couple shout-outs to just some people that really just showed up and did what they were supposed to do. Harold Landry was everywhere. The guy was on. I have to look at the snap count, but I swear every time back when Wentz was getting pressured, Landry was right there. He had the strip sack. He chased Carson Wentz down from behind. That could have been easily a huge gain. I mean, that could have been a 15-yard gain, but he got him. He broke up screen passes. The kid he's learning so quickly. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that he does. Taylor Lewan takes him aside like every so often and really teaches him, here, do this. If this happens, try to do this, or I'm going to do this. I mean, Taylor Lewan's an all-pro tackle. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl tackle. He knows something. He can tell you, kind of teach you some things. So their Harold Landry obviously was using. I mean, what can you say about Marcus Mariota and Corey Davis? You really gotta commend a guy for coming in there. You could still see Mariota wasn't 100% throwing the ball. He let a few sail. Even when the receivers let him down, like the Nick Williams had that. I mean, not Nick Williams. Sorry, I said Jennings had that drop. I mean, it felt like right there, like you ripped my heart out right there. Like it was a perfect throw. It was right in your hands. How do you just not catch this? But, Mariota's a guy who's proven time and time again, like, these gritty wins, there are a few quarterbacks that gut these out like he does. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty amazing to watch. He never gets down on his teammates. He never gets down on anything, on the play calling. I actually had reservations of, like, I didn't know if he had that feistiness to kind of go against the coaches and really, like, do something that he needed to do and he knew was right. But I have no doubts now that this guy, he's willing to win no matter what it takes. He's diving head first. It's the first time I've really ever seen him get up in a defensive player's face was today. I mean, shout out to him. I mean, Corey Davis, I can't say anything more than what everyone else is saying. I mean, the catch was amazing. Every time we needed a big play, he was there. The Titans running game was, oh gosh, it was horrible. But give the Eagles their credit. They have a great run defense. And, Dion Lewis made his impact felt in other ways. He got involved in the pass game. He played very well. So I really think that, this kind of is going to show a lot of people that we're not just run only. Like, Mariota threw for over 330 yards, I think. Mariota was our best rusher. And I just really think that people need to sit there and realize that, the Titans, what's more important than the win? Nothing. Nothing's more important than winning the game. I don't care how they look. Last week, it was disgusting. And when everyone said it, I liked it. I liked defensive game. Everyone said it was an embarrassment. It was boring. I think I saw Tony Gonzalez said, I don't care. We won the game. I like to see that it's not all about offense all the time. But now, the run game was stymied, but Mariota threw the ball and we won. We gutted it out again. We get another win. Mike Vrabel with the call of the year. I'll get more on this call in a second because the same thing happened in the Texans-Colts game. So I'm going to do like a little bit brief comparison of this. I love the call. Don't get me wrong. The people I was watching it with, when we lined up for the field goal, it was going to be a 50-yard field goal. No, not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. I turned and I said to the people I watched with, I said, I would rather lose the game than try to take this tie right here, because it was far from a gimme. It was far from a gimme for a 50-yard field goal. I just didn't like that it was out there. But he called the timeout, put the personnel on, and the rest is history. It all came together. The Eagles, Wentz wasn't as elusive as what I thought he was. It could be credited to Landry and Casey, and Butler had a sack. Like, they were all over him. So there were two things obviously I was concerned about from the Titans. Wesley Woodyard going out in the first quarter. That scares me. I think Wood is a huge part of our defense. And the other thing is that, again, I don't know if it's miscommunication, if Butler's still having a hard time with our safeties or what have you. But we gave up another long touchdown. For you, that out of the 4 games we've played, we've given up 3 touchdowns, and they got to be over 40 yards, all on Malcolm Butler. I don't know. I'm hoping that it's just a communication problem. They'll get it together. I really like Butler in these short yardage pass situations because he's very good at jumping that route. But it seems like as of right now, like I said, I know it's early, and he has proven it. So I can't really question him. I'm just thinking it's maybe a communications thing or what have you. But I think that there's something going on as far as that case of why he's getting beat. So anyway, obviously Titans win. Super happy. Like, another great week, another great win. I'm sure that it won't reflect on anyone's national media, but who cares? Keep sleeping on us. We'll keep teaching. That's how it is. So now we'll go to the Texans-Colts game. This game, there wasn't much defense being played. I have a friend of mine, a huge Colts fan. He's like, it was exciting to watch. I mean, I don't like sloppy games, so the fumbled snap in the end zone, and Andrew Luck fumbled twice, and I don't like those type of games. I mean, I guess he just likes the high scores. I don't like the high scores. I think that the NFL has been geared to make it so the higher scoring the better, and I don't necessarily agree with that because it makes it very difficult to find good corners and things like that because you can't touch these people. So anyway. It was all Texans until about the halfway through the third quarter, and then Andrew Luck started, like we've seen so many times, Andrew Luck, he's not dead until the clock is at 0 because he can come back, and he just started making plays happen. He had T.Y. Hilton and a bunch of name whoever, Pascal, Rogers. Yeah, I can name them. I'm in the division. I know I watched them. I'm in the division. I think more than half of the fans, probably 80% of the fans, are saying, who is he passing to? I mean, yeah, Ebron, he's a good name. I mean, Jack Doyle's gone off the face of the earth, I guess. I mean, I don't know if he was hurt or if they're just done with him, but he's making these no names. Like, I don't even know how many passing yards Rodgers and Pascal had. It was crazy to see that. I mean, T.Y. Hilton had a few big plays here and there. But the Hines kid for running back was very surprising. For the Texans, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Texans, between Fuller and Hopkins, they might have a top 5 duo. They are both extremely good. I mean, you got to give some credit to Deshaun Watson this week. He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to take more of what's being given to him opposed to trying to force things. And it definitely showed today. He looked very poised in the quarterback in the pocket. But the other thing is that the Colts could not get any pressure on him. I don't know if it was more for the O-line or if it was more of the Colts just don't have that good of a pass rush. So, I mean, hats off to them. So let's get down to the call. Like I said, I'll break this call down twice. So in the Colts-Texans game, as the Titans-Eagles game, there was an instance in overtime where they had the ability to punt the ball. On the Texans, it was the Titans, it was 4th and 4 on the on the Eagles 42, I think. It is somewhere around there. It would have been a 50-yard field goal. And Vrabel came out and said later that there was no doubt in his mind he wanted to make the illusion that he didn't know what he wanted to do, but he knew he was going for it the whole time. There was no doubt in his mind, I'm going to go for it. And they pick up the pass. They pick it up. There's like 17-yard gain, Deion Lewis breaking tackles everywhere, and great for us. So the Colts did the same thing. It was 4th and 4 or 4th and 5. It was right there, but they were on their 45. But I still like the call. I still like the call for right to go for it. I mean, I would rather, give yourself a chance to win the game than don't lose the game. I just saw Rodney Harrison just said it. He's like, ties hurt worse than losses. And I kind of agree with it because I love Vrabel's call. I would have rather I'm sorry, and call me whatever. I would have rather lost that game and gone for it on that 4th down than got that tie. I just really, it was just not it wasn't a given for us either. And the Colts made that call. And I think I read a Twitter post. I wish I could give credit to whomever said it, but they said, I think it was Brian Billick. He said, Mike Vrabel goes for it on 4th and 4, gets it. He's a genius. He's the best coach of the week. Frank Reich goes for it on 4th and 5, misses it. He's the village idiot. I don't know what people say what the book says to do, but I think you have to give your team that confidence that you trust them to go out there and get them that first down. I think to Vrabel, to his players, I think it spoke volumes. I feel like they are right now, like everyone said that Malarkey was a player's coach. I think that the players in there are thinking, Malarkey who? They would run through walls for this guy already. It's been 4 games, and he's got complete command of that locker room. And, good for him. It was a great call. And I'll say the same thing, Frank Reich. It was a great call. I think it was the right call. You got to give yourself that chance to win. You don't want to tie. You want to win the games. It didn't work out for him. But for the media and everyone's going to come down on him saying, well, you were in your own. You know what? The time's running down. I do think for a rule change for next year, they do need to increase the overtime time frame, because it's 10 minutes. It's not 15 minutes like a regular quarter. Like, why can't we give them the 15? Is it really, like, is the NFL Players Association going to come back on you for that 5 minutes? I mean, maybe, I guess they can, but I really, really think, the Titans game almost ran out of time too. If we kicked the field goal, it was going to be a tie. There was no time left. And, there's been 2 ties this year already. So, anyway, guys, go Titans. Another great week for them. I feel like I got to keep picking against them. I know they have the Bills next week, so I in good conscience, I cannot pick against them. But it was a really exciting week outside of the Jags-Jets game. All the games were exciting at least, so that's something you always want to hear. The league has been very good for parity this year. I do know, everyone was hopping on the Dolphins bandwagon. It was only a matter of time. And Tom Brady's just the guy to take you down a peg or two. So, but hit that follow, hit that like, and you know what, guys? I'll see you again probably tomorrow with something new.